What is going on, everybody? Coax and Camp Stools here, not in California. We are in Indiana right now, visiting my wife's sister. So of course I was able to, well, not of course, I was able to slip away to the nearest POTA park, which ended up being Atterbury State and Fish Wildlife something or other. We're a stone's throw from Camp Atterbury, which is like a National Guard maneuver space. Disregard the mess here in the back of the truck. I've been living out of this for 12 days. Not the back of the truck, but all the stuff in the truck. I'm right here by, what is this, Beaver Bottom Lake? Yeah, Beaver Bottom Lake here in Atterbury Fish and Wildlife area. Was able to slip away for a POTA activation. Let's see if I can get everything in the shot. I'm gonna have to put my camera in the sun because it is not gonna be able to handle the heat here, which I'll talk about here in a second. Get my water bottle out of the view. With some essential equipment right here. All right. Got my coax. Got my camp stool. Now I just need to find a free frequency. So this should be okay. I was able to get a full, ooh, I can hardly see everything. Hopefully you guys can hear this. I was able to get a full 66 feet of wire up. If you hear any loud booms off in the distance, hopefully. Man, I hope you guys can hear this. If you hear any loud booms off in the distance, Camp Atterbury, which is some National Guard maneuver center, is a stone's throw. This is like where the service members go and hunt, I believe, but it's run by the state of Indiana. So this is a POTA designator, which of course I forgot to look up. So now we're going to see me do this live. So I already heard a couple big blasts. I don't know if they do artillery or not there, but you might hear some blasts. There's also a little family fishing here that you also might hear walking around. One of them was already demonstrating their singing voice, but like I have a toddler, it doesn't bother me one bit. You guys just might hear it. US 4183. It is 5 August. UTC time 1808. All right. So you've been able to hear this. I'm running my widest filter, which isn't super wide, but I'm hearing a lot of signals, which is good because that means the antenna works. Oh, 14057. That's where I've been the last couple days. So by now you will have seen my video, maybe. By now you will have seen my video of me moving to Virginia, and I have been POTA-ing my way across the country. I almost activated every state. I failed my activation in Illinois. Let me add my spot while I'm running my mouth here. Add spot, frequency 14057. Park reference US 4183. Atterbury State Fish and Wildlife Area is the name of this place. Comments CW. Alright, I'm going to do auto key while I make sure that my camera is good. Looks like it. Alright. I am sweating like a dog, but it's great. Let me put on auto key here. Hopefully y'all can hear this. So I got a couple comments across a few different videos. Oh, my phone just vibrated, so I'm in my own ham alert. I don't remember what I was just saying. Oh, so I drove all the way over here with all of my windows down. One, because my wife and son weren't with me, so I didn't have anybody complaining about their hair being blown in their eyes. But also because it's 90 degrees here and I absolutely love it. Like, I'm sitting here sweating like a dog and this is great. I don't hate it yet. Because where I live in the Monterey Bay, which I complained about all the time, it's always windy, it's always cold. And if you see my videos, like, I'm activating in June, July, whatever, and I've got a big poofy jacket on, pants on, because that's just how cold it was. I think the high throughout the year is like between 60 and 70 degrees, which like sounds really good from if you're not from there, because you're like, oh, that's a beautiful temperature. But then when you live there, like I've hardly worn shorts in the 2 years that I spent there, because that's like the high of the day. So for the most of the part of the day, it's like between 45 and like 55 degrees, so it's just like super cold. Which I know, like, some of you guys are like, oh, I live in South Dakota, it's negative 20. I don't care. I'm talking about Monterey Bay. So we get the wind coming off the ocean, and the fog, the thickest fog that I have ever seen in my life, that's like straight out of a horror movie. The wind hits you, the fog hits you, the moisture hits you, and you're just freezing all year, except for like 1 week in October where it's like 85 degrees. Ooh, that was quick. K7 something. SPS. N0 FXQ. He's strong. And one. Oh! Man, Indiana's giving me... Yep. This is Julia, New Jersey. New Jersey. NF something. Guess you're not going to get to hear a lot of what I have to say today because this is going to be a busy one. 5-5. Virginia. Was that a call sign? I think they're a key mess. So that was K3KML. 599. Maryland. KB. Oh. Three. KB3, I messed that up. 5-7. Maryland again. Alright, I have a second. Man, I totally lost what I was talking about. Alright, so those call signs there. The reason that I'm talking through this now is one, so you can hear what I'm saying. So I don't sound like an idiot in all the recordings that I do. Hopefully you can still hear me over that. As I had a couple comments saying that they listen to my videos while they drive, and I realized that I don't actually ever say W3PD, very quiet. New York. JYD. British Columbia. All right. Three ADF. N3 ADF. Another Maryland. All right, so I have no idea what I was saying before that. Throw this on. So I got a couple videos or a couple comments saying that people listen to my videos, and I realized that I never actually say the call signs or anything. I don't really say anything throughout my activation. And I put it, I go in and I edit and I put up, that last guy, N3ADF, Maryland. Now I gotta tighten up my filter. That doesn't help anybody driving because they don't know who the call sign was, because I never see it, I never say it, and they don't see it because, well, at least they shouldn't see it because they're driving. So this format helps out those people. So I'm going to say the call signs, try to say the state, say a little bit more stuff. Hopefully I don't say anything stupid. What I'm also testing is this 3 amp hour BioEnno battery that I have used for probably like the last 6 activations. I've activated, or at least attempted, every single state from California to currently Indiana. So I've got a lot of time on this battery. Haven't charged it once. And oh. Three 339 Florida. He might have just been outside my filter and not actually that weak. I hope you guys can still hear. I had to move my 705 out of the sun just because I don't want to cook it. Actually, maybe I can drop this. Give myself a little bit more shade. Yeah, it gives me a little bit more shade here. Alright, so the family that's here, they just started up their minivan. They're going to leave here in a minute, so I might get a whole bunch of noise. See, I'm still testing out this 3 amp hour BioEnno just to see how long it'll last. Hopefully you're not getting any wind noise. A Kentucky Fried Ham called me out one time because I talk about how all I ever get is wind on the Monterey Bay. And he says, well, I have wind in Kentucky. Apparently there's wind in Indiana too. Who would have thought? How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, that took 11 minutes. 11 minutes and I got 10 contacts. That's pretty good. His family's leaving. Slow myself down for this guy. I got no noise from them. That's pretty good. Michigan. Back up we go. Yeah, I always try to slow down for these guys because, I mean, actually my channel intro's out, so I talked a little bit about my CW story where I was a slowpoke, or I still consider myself pretty slow when you compare myself to some of the other guys out there, or gals too. So I always try to slow down for people because I know that I would appreciate it if I was going up for somebody or going to try to contact somebody and they were going fast and they slowed down for me. And with the 705, it's easy. It's 2 button presses. I know I was talking about it in the last video, so I haven't checked like any YouTube comments. I have just been driving all day. And then we get home and my son, who's been like strapped in a car seat for most of the day, we try to get out and I'll do a POTA activation and he'll run all around and everything. Oh, that's vibrating. So, you know, we get back to the hotel, or we actually camped for a lot of nights too. And he's just bouncing off the wall until like 10:30 where he finally passes out. And of course, I'm not going to do anything after that, and I just go to sleep. VE6JF. Oops. Oop. Fading. 2-2. AB. All right. So he's bouncing off the walls. So by the time he goes to sleep, like I certainly don't want to do anything, so I just go to sleep. Or I don't have any cell service. So we drove. You know, I'm not even going to where we camped and everything. It's pretty dope. Like, I had a great time on this trip up until we got to the Midwest. And I'm not about the Midwest. So I'll save that for another video where I talk about all the places we camped. Like, it was cool. I try to take pictures of everything, of all my setups and whatnot, so that I could talk about it, because, you know, like the stuff that I brought on this trip. Like, I mean, you guys see it here, Ashi Paddle. Of course I brought the Ashi Paddle. I have the leg strap on it because I thought that I would use the leg strap a little bit more because I bought an ATAS, but my truck puts out crazy noise on 20 meters. So like I can't use it while I'm driving. So I haven't even set it up. Plus, like, it's just sketchy to me having that big old antenna hanging off the side of the door. 84 DOK. Florida. He just sent DAS. Got me. Oops. I'm not JRJ. I'm JRW. Alright, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You know what? That's good. I'm going to end it because... so another reason that I haven't filmed anything this whole time... Always hydrate. Oops. Spin the dial. Heck yeah. It's not for me, is it? Alright, let me... VE6JF. Yeah, I got that guy first try. Alright, turning away because of the wind. So there were a couple loud bangs back there. At first I thought it was artillery practice, but it didn't really sound like it because the earth didn't rumble like it does with artillery, or so I've heard. That sounded like some big truck with like a tailgate dropping. Alright, so what was I going to say? Oh, so the reason I haven't like filmed anything is because for every minute that I am poting, my wife is chasing around a toddler like one-on-one, and he has way more energy than either of us do combined. So I just try to be quick. I quick set something up, I bippity boppity send some beeps and boops, I get 10, 11, 13. One park it was actually pretty crazy. I went to Sweden. I think I got like 26, 27 contacts in like 30 minutes in South Dakota. So that one I was around for a while, but this one, so he was napping. My brother-in-law was at work, so I was like, hey, I'm gonna slip away and go POTA. So that's what I'm doing today. So that was 18 minutes, and I got like 13 contacts, whatever that was. I'm good. That's an activation. This is another state. So I haven't filmed anything because I don't want to take the time to set up cameras and stuff and film the activation all while my wife is working and chasing down this kid. But it's just me out here today, so that's why I set this up. She just texted me. He was napping, but now he's awake. And I have like a 26-minute drive to get home. When I was looking at parks, there were two parks. One who actually ended up being, it seems like Great Man POTA's home park, because he had like 60-something activations at this thing. So I was choosing between that one or this one, and I was like, oh, which one has no CW contacts? And neither of the parks had any CW contacts. So I don't know if there's like no CW activators in Indiana, which is kind of lame which is kind of lame Indiana POTA activators. So you got to get on your CW game and get some CW contacts for these parks. So I came out here, took the CW virginity of this one, I believe. I'm pretty sure that I did, because I don't think either of them had any CW contacts, because I was going to use that as a differentiator to figure out which one I was going to go to. Neither of them did. Can't say that about Atterbury State Fish and Wildlife something or other anymore. Let me do a quick walk around. Hopefully the camera didn't overheat. Still going? Yeah, we're still going. All right, so I pointed it out earlier. This is like an essential piece of gear that I look for when I choose a POTA location, and it's close and I can hear my stuff, so that if things start rattling and I'm in there and I know somebody's messing with it, I can quick come out. So I mentioned that this was Beaver Bottom Lake. I thought it was Bear Bottom Lake when I first looked at it, so I thought I was going to even out my tan, if you know what I'm saying. That's not, no, it's Beaver Bottom. I don't have a beaver, so I can't, I didn't rate. There was one thing down the road. Ooh, my noise level's shooting up for some reason. Probably because there's a truck driving by. So as I mentioned, inverted L here on the sign, some RG58, contrary to what the OMs will tell you. This does not cause 3 dB of line loss. my BioEnno 3 amp hour battery. BioEnno 3 amp hour battery. This is like POTA activation, like number 6 or 7 or something with this thing. Still going strong, still pumping out 10 watts of fire down that wire. What else can I tell you about this place? Yeah, so Camp Atterbury is like through those trees somewhere. It's just happened to be the closest park to where my sister-in-law lives. So this is where I came. A nice little fishing dock. Those kids showed up. They were fishing. It is van accessible. Yeah, that's really it. Thanks for coming out with me on another POTA activation. I hear some clanging. You know what? I'm gonna quick walk down there and we can go take a look, see if this will... Yeah, I don't think there's any beavers here, but there's at least beaver bottoms because that's what it's named for. So one thing that I never thought about when I started getting into POTA is like it has taken me to all these different state parks that otherwise I never would have been to, because why else would I be looking at a map like, oh, here's this far and away park that, like, I don't fish, so why would I come here? Because there's a fishing pond. But I'm here to POTA and this is like pretty beautiful. And a lot of the things that I activated in like South Dakota, Wyoming, like all those places, like took me out of the way to see these like beautiful parts of the country that a lot of people don't get to see, because, you know, why else would you be driving through the middle of Wyoming? No offense to those in Wyoming, but that was a really cool drive and I really enjoyed it. And if you're from the Midwest, like, hey, I'm sorry to hear that. All right, another one in the books. Thanks for CWing with me today, everybody.